The political climate in the United States is heating up once again. Tensions in Washington are rising, negotiations are stalling, and the clock is steadily counting down toward another government shutdown. For many Americans, this situation feels familiar. But this time, something is different. The stakes are higher, the political divide is deeper, and the consequences could be far more serious than before. In the center of this storm stands Senator Ted Cruz, one of the most outspoken and controversial figures in American politics. Cruz has made a bold and shocking prediction. He believes that the upcoming government shutdown will not be short, symbolic, or easily resolved. Instead, he warns that it could become one of the most intense, long-lasting, and politically explosive shutdowns in modern American history. Cruz has built a reputation as a sharp-tongued political fighter. He is known for speaking directly, without worrying about who he offends or who stands in his way. And this time, he is sounding an alarm that many are refusing to take lightly. According to Cruz, the government is heading toward a shutdown not because of small disagreements, but because the very vision of the country is being fought over. He explains that there are now two completely opposing forces shaping American politics. On one side, there are lawmakers pushing for expanded government spending, larger federal programs, and increased financial support for social services. They argue that the government must play a larger role in helping citizens, funding new initiatives, and maintaining strong public systems. On the other side, there are lawmakers demanding strict spending limits, reduced government involvement, and tighter control over the federal budget. They warn that the national debt is spiraling out of control, and if it is not addressed soon, future generations will pay the price. Cruz says these sides are not simply disagreeing, they are locked in ideological warfare. And this war, he believes, is leading the country straight toward a shutdown. He claims that the upcoming shutdown will not be resolved through quick compromise. Instead, he predicts that both sides will stand firm, refusing to back down, each side believing that backing down means surrendering the future direction of the nation itself. Cruz warns that this deadlock could result in a shutdown that stretches for weeks, or even months. If this prediction becomes reality, millions of Americans could feel the impact. Many federal workers could see the paychecks delayed. Families who depend on government support programs could face temporary disruptions. Public services could slow or close. National parks may shut the gates. Routine government tasks could freeze. And the everyday life of citizens may be interrupted in subtle and significant ways. But Cruz believes the impact could go even deeper. He says the shutdown could act as a spotlight, exposing how deeply divided the country has become and forcing the public to confront the question that politicians have avoided for years: how much government is too much? For decades, the national debt has continued to rise, growing into the trillions. Spending has increased regardless of economic conditions. And lawmakers from both parties have repeatedly chosen short-term political comfort over long-term financial responsibility. Cruz believes the country is now approaching a critical point where the consequences of those decisions can no longer be ignored. Supporters of Cruz argue that a major shutdown may be painful, but necessary. They believe that tough decisions have been postponed for too long. They claim that without confrontation, nothing will change. To them, the shutdown is not a failure, but a chance to reset the nation's priorities and demand transparency in government spending. Critics, however, call Cruz reckless.